Yo, what's up, guys?
Hello. Oh, that's upside down. So, here we are. Thank you for joining the stream. I have a lot of lofty goals today, as we said in the chat. And if you're just listening, then we're going to be looking at Item Cloud. We're going to be looking at Pop Create, which was, if you're familiar with Pop Seed, which is originally part of Pop, it was ripped out and made into its own tool called Pop Create. And we're going to leverage Pop Create to create a tool that can, or we're going to expand it so that we'll bootstrap an Idem Cloud project, because that's something I've done a lot, helped a lot of people create an Idem Cloud project. And maybe one of the things we should do too is just look at what a raw Idem Cloud project looks like based on Pop Seed. Just to as a sanity check, and then we'll go and expand Pop Seed so that automatically creates the boilerplate code for an Idem project. And then after all that, we're going to look at how to generate exec modules from an open API spec. Because if we can do that, then creating execution modules for all of the item clouds that exist will be a breeze. You know, plug it into the spec and do a little tweaking to make it work for whatever our custom implementation is, and we're good. So, without further ado, I don't know if I should share my full screen or if I should just share HR. Give me a second to get everything together in this. No, I'll just share my whole window, and I will close out of Slack so that messages in Slack don't pop up. Full screen. Hey, this is what my OBS looks like. So, any questions before we get started? Yeah, I was looking at item VMC before going, and item CSP, getting some open source tooling in for some of VMware's cloud stuff. So I'm excited about that. It's another project I'm working on. File, new project. No, not a new project. Let's see, where are we at? PD. Have I cloned pop create? No, I have so many pop projects. Some of these have been, left by the wayside. Some of them I'm still actively working on. How many is that? Holy smokes. Yeah, I have some experience with pop stuff and spinning up repos. So there's my credentials. Okay, pop create. So gitlab.com/saltstack. I'll share this link if anyone wants to follow along. Oh, you've already shared the link. I was about to go do that. That was really on top. Thanks. Eric. Clone. I'm gonna do it with my own thing. Git clone SSH key, so that way I can just push without having to type in a password. The pop create. Nice. Now I will go here, file, open pop create. Put it here. I want it to be the only thing I'm working on. Ugh. Now let's create a new. Virtual env. Awesome. So while we're looking at pop create, there was an MR that I wanted to get in. Is there any reason I should not merge this? You said this is updated, resolve thread. I'm going to do that in your behalf. Sounds like a different issue. Resolve thread. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff with pop create. So if there's any issues with this PR, then I'm going to fix it. And we're just going to merge this. It's been open for 4 months. Deserves to be in. Hey. And I messaged the owner of the project, and he's like, yeah, do what you need to do. So I'm going to take that as a license today to push to master. And especially doing something on stream, I mean, that's pretty much a code review. I could also push it up as I'll create a PR. I'll do things the correct way. I shouldn't do things the bad. So in order to do that, let's get, I should probably fork it. have this as my picture on things. I've gone through like a number of I don't like having my face on my profile picture, but just for a fun piece of history from Tyler's life. Uh, when I first graduated college, the picture I would use was a picture of a compass drawing a square. Because at my first job, I felt like that's what I was doing most of the time. So it was an image like this. That was my profile picture. Because I felt like I was designed to do one thing, but I was being asked to do another. So that was after I was out of college. That was my profile picture for everything. And then this comes from an anime, No Game, No Life, which I probably shouldn't admit on a stream that I'm watching anime. But for me, this chess piece has connotations for challenging the norm, for being weak but still being able to overcome, and in the anime, challenging a god and becoming uh humans realizing their own power when they're in a world that is full of magic and werewolves and monsters, and humans don't have any magic, and how can they become strong? And there are so many things that I connect with it. So some people are like, oh, it's just a chess piece, so I can get away with it. But now you know. Don't tell anyone my secret, but that's actually from an anime. Don't tell anyone my secret as a broadcast live on the stream. Fun things to talk about. It's important to talk about the reasons why we do things. I think there's a lot of history into why everyone does anything, why they choose the names they choose for themselves. Like the history of my name being Ahmad in the chats, which is a fun one to talk about too, I guess. My name was Ahmad I actually did a study abroad in Jerusalem, and met all kinds of wonderful people, had a lot of great experiences, and I came home and I was like, and uh, there was someone there that I really respected that was named Ahmad or Ahmed, because in Arabic it's different, and so I was like, I'm gonna try and kind of twist that and make it into my gamer name. So I got home from Jerusalem and I made my name Ahmad, and then when I was playing League of Legends one day, someone was like, Ahmad, is that a hacker name? And I was like, it is? Like, yeah, like an asynchronous kernel module. And I was like, huh, I like that idea. I am the asynchronous kernel module because I give asynchronous input to the kernel, of course. So then it stuck. After it was a hacker name, then it was forever my name in programming world. So there you go. There's a history of my name, history of what I use as my profile picture. More than you ever wanted to know. I'm gonna turn on the stream on my other screen real quick. I'm excited to actually be getting into programming today. Project OSS. I know that I made my PyCharm window font bigger the other day, but I toned it back down because it was really annoying to work around all the time. But I can bump it up again for that easy to see. For viewers, welcome everybody. Okay. So one of the things I want to do with Pop Create is Pop Create will seed a project. And I actually haven't used it. I've always just used Pop Seed. So the idea is I come in here, I make a new repo, make directory Taco. I probably already have a directory called Taco. Oh no, I don't. It's my throwaway variable. So then here I can say pop seed 10-cent cloud dash bv dash b exact states tool account. So this is the way Popseed works as it is built into Pop. And what it does is it created the boilerplate code for a Pop project that is a vertically app merged project, meaning it did not create a run.py for my project. I also said that I wanted to extend the dynamic namespaces of exec, states, tool, and account, which means it created the folders in the appropriate places for account plugins, exec modules, state modules, and tool plugins with contract directories. So this is what pop seed already does. I haven't used pop create yet, actually, to be honest. So let's use pop create and see how pop seed commands translate. And all that will be different when we're creating something with Idem Cloud. Like I want to be able to say, my imagination is that we'll be able to say by the end of the day, pop create Idem Cloud spec open API.spec. And this is what the command I want us to be able to run at the end of the day. And it will do all of this, plus it'll read this spec file and magically generate exec modules from it. That is my goal by the end of the day. So if you have any questions, comments, arguments, or rebuttals about that goal, then let me know. It means that we're gonna have to expand pop create to use the dynamic subcommands. So if you wanted to expand pop create to do to extend your project, you could do that very easily. Or to generate boilerplate code for any project. Because remember what we have with subcommands, with dynamic subcommands. Let's look at that. Let's look at what I'm talking about here with heist as an example. So here we have heist salt. Heist has its own CLI. So we can say heist help. Oh, I need to. Heist help. Heist has its own conf.py, it takes its own arguments. But now I can say heist salt.minion help, because heist salt extends the subcommand of salt minion and tacks a couple arguments onto the salt minion subcommand. Heist doesn't need to be aware of this. So what this gives us is heist can have a unified command line experience. And you can extend that command line experience with your own command line options on top of the heist infrastructure without heist having to care what your command line arguments are. So that's what this gives us, and it's freaking awesome. So then you'll see when I do heist salt.minion-help, it gives me all of the heist options plus the key plugin. I guess I haven't pulled recently, so I don't have the accept keys or retry key account. Oh, here's the accept key. So this gives us the ability to extend command line interfaces for existing projects without those projects having to accept an MR or without having to care what your command line options are. So it's pretty cool. We're going to do that for pop create. So that way we can use pop create to seed any arbitrary project. And I brought up heist as an example. I'm actually going to leave this window up because it's going to be helpful when we get to that point. Okay. So let's just blow away everything in Taco. Yes. There is nothing here. So now I'm going to see if I can use that same command, pop seed, with pop create. Oh, I also have to pip install-e pop create. That would probably be helpful. I installed it into my heist environment. Oops. Deactivate, then pop create. There. There we go. Now I can run my pop create command. It looks like pop create right now works exactly the same as pop seed. That's nice. Really handy to know. And oh, hold on. I have cherry blues, so if my clicking of my keyboard is annoying, let me know. I know there's CLI ways to edit this, and it is very bad what I'm doing right here. But I'm not, I struggle when it comes to using Git commands. And so instead of Googling it every time, I can just come in and edit this file, and I can pick how to edit this file. Okay, so now I'm going to run that pop create command with the updated code with the MR that we have, and it added a git ignore. That's pretty awesome because when I've been using pop seed, sometimes it's like I'll have my .idea folder or some log files put into the first commit because pop seed doesn't create a .git ignore. So it's really awesome that Derek added this MR. I'm excited. Okay, so now that we know that pop create works, and there's not actually any tests around this, we're going to create some tests too, because I really hate it when someone like comes into my project and they're like, they're giving me some nice PRs, but then it breaks something. And if we write some quick tests, and writing tests isn't hard for me, especially if I'm kind of integration. Oh, we also have to we have to make this a module because otherwise, normally in pop projects, you don't see these init.py files all over the place. But in tests, we have to have it because otherwise PyTest will clash. If you have an integration test folder and a unit test folder, and they have test files underneath them that are the same name, or if the directory structure is the same underneath integration and unit, then it just breaks PyTest. So that's why I'm putting init files in here. Otherwise, you would not see them in a pop project. Okay. Pop create. Let's look at pop creates. Conf.py. This -tv, I'm thinking this, like when we said type of project is a vertically app merge project or horizontal app merge project, I'm thinking that we could turn these into subcommands rather than specifying type. Otherwise, our type could be a item D project, but maybe we want different arguments. We do have different arguments. This dynamic namespace merging, this is specific to -tv. Oh no, it's not. -tv just needs no run.py. If you have any comments real quick on how I'm going to spec out these subcommands, the subcommands that should exist, we need at least one subcommand for pop create to work as it does. So as it is, my command was pop create and then the name of the project I wanted to create. So now I want to be able to say pop create and now specify my subcommand, which will be the underlying tool I'm going to use to create this. This could be item or item cloud. Item cloud, or it could just be a generic pop project. Maybe that's what my first one is. pop, or we could say a vertical, or a vertical, and get rid of the need for the dash TV. Yeah, I'm thinking that's the way I want to go. Let's have our initial subcommands be pop and vertical. And we'll get rid of the need for this P command. Ooh. Project name. We kind of want the project name to be underneath every subcommand. I think that's pretty universal. And dine. Let's also add this one. Nice. So now the tool is broken. I've broken everything. Positional true. Yeah, but let's look at this. Now if I say pop create help, everything is broken. This is true. I have broken things. Which specific things broke? Probably this. Nope. That's just me randomly guessing now. I don't like that these are all all over the place. I'd prefer that they were in their own. I prefer that these were in files. Okay. We've gotta think about how to change the structure of this real quick. Pop, create. Maybe the name of this is seed. That's what the name is right here. I've got so many thoughts here. Let's just keep calling it pop create seed with as that. I just feel like these should be in their own file. And I feel like seed should be in its own directory within init.py with its supporting files. Yeah, pop creates init is right here. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, new directory seed. Seed goes in here. Factor seed is renamed to init. Boom. Okay. First, I'm going to refactor pop create to be a format that is more pluggable and gives me a space. Like right here, I've created a directory called seed within init.py. And now I can say, if you're creating a plugin, it goes in its own folder and it has an init.py. That has a predictable function that does everything. Do this. project. Because the nice thing of having these be in their own files means that we can use syntax checking on them. But some of these are Python files, and Python will pick. Hold on. Think about this real quick. New file. Let's just call it setup. Setup. .py. It is a .py. Let's call it .templates. There. And let's call it Python. Okay. And then we just copy this. Into setup.py.template. Now we have some syntax checking, which will make maintaining this a little easier, but it ends in .template, and so it won't be picked up by PyCharm or by pop. I like that. Let's see, pyproj.template. What is that? /a for my taco project. pyproject.toml. Okay. New file. pyproject.toml.template. Yeah, see, this is a lot easier to edit than trying to be like, okay, there's triple quotes here, there's triple quotes here. Which ones do I read? And so I think this is a lot easier. There's also an R right there to make it raw, and instead I can just read these files from data. And the other nice thing is now when we make changes, it won't be a change to one ginormous file. Instead, changes to this file and changes to this file will be tracked on their own. So I think that's another positive of doing things this way. Pre-commit. That's in this pre-commit config.yaml. New Python file. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Entry point. Actually, I really want to change one. This actually looks like it's a piece of setup.py and is not necessarily its own file. I might keep this one here. New JSON file. This is one that I've been changing in every single project that I'm in. Probably should just update it here. Okay. Def init. New Python file. init.py.template. The nice thing too is pre-commit now will be able to hopefully parse these files. Except they have isms that don't exactly work. Like this. And make it work with both syntax checkers though. This will actually work as pop code. Like I can add that new line to the end, so now it won't fail. This would mean that we'd have to be on the latest. That's okay. What version of pop are we on? Pop 16. I'm gonna if pop create starts people off in the latest pop projects, I think that would be better. I don't want to encourage just be like, here, be on any version of pop. Let's make sure people stay late. Oh yeah, that's also a template file. New file environment.text.clicked. Oh, this is all that's in it. Cool. Okay. File. I feel like the spacing of this has been going for now I can or maybe it's supposed to be like that. I don't know. Okay. And this one is, yep, let's put it in here. New Python regular file. Version applied up. All right. There you go. I can increase that font size a lot. It is hard to read. So now we have separated. Oh, and this git ignore. Sorry, one more. New Python file git ignore dot. All right. Now we have a whole bunch of file names that are referenced instead of a whole bunch of files. Boom, boom, boom. Any of them that I missed? Why is import pop.hub happening? Oh, that I can do this. This is from when I was last looking at pop, I was trying to document everything and type hint everything. So this specific type hint is something that I kind of only wanted done inside of pop. Kind of tedious to do in every pop project every time you have a hub. I just wanted pop itself to be fully type hinted, but I wouldn't expect everyone to type hint the hub everywhere it shows up in different projects. Let's not set that precedent, especially in a project that needs the hub. Ugh, why am I doing this? Oh, on the last one, I did a little Vim script. All right. So we've now successfully broken everything so that it doesn't work. Nice. Ugh. I don't want to write that for everything. Okay, let's just look through this init.py file for use a regular expression here. Capital A to Z plus equals this. Yes, that's what I want. And now let's capture whatever was put into double quotes. Nice. So this is my capture group, and now let's replace it. This is an advanced feature of PyCharm. So if you're watching for this, then this is pretty useful. So I did Control-Shift-R when I was clicking on the file, and it opened up this Replace in Files window. Then I clicked on this button, which means I'm searching for regex patterns. And regex, I can't cover how to teach that in one day, but you can do regex101.com or do some regex golf. There's lots of ways to learn how to do regular expressions. But in a nutshell, this caret means I want to match patterns from the beginning of the line. And then the capital A to Z plus means, and I want to match words, because all of these are all strings that have words. The plus means I want at least one capital letter or more in that word. Space equals space. Like if I get rid of this space, then I'll have no matches. And now I want to have a capture group. That's what the parentheses mean. I want to capture anything that is inside of quotes. And I guess this fits. So if I change this to a plus, so entry fits. You see, this is a weird match. This shouldn't match. If I change this to a plus, oh, I guess it's also a quote in there. If I expect there to be two things inside of there, now entry doesn't fit. Nice. So now, what I can do is I can replace that with what I want here. And I think I also need this to be a capture group. Now I want to say my first capture group is not changing. So it's going to say this. This is my example. It's going to change this line to get ignore equals. And now I'm just going to say open the second capture group, which is the name of the file, as W plus read. Does that work? Anyway, then I come down to why is this window so huge? It needs to be smaller so I can see what's on the bottom. Let me just exit out of this real quick. Control Shift R. There we go. Replace all. Yes. There. And I used a nice little regular expression. Oh, this one didn't fit the pattern. There. Now it does. There. I'm pretty sure this will work. But that was a fun little foray into how to regular expression. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I just do a dot read, it'll read the entire file. Nice. And if you're saying, oh, but Tyler, this is all happening at the root of the thing, that's bad. That means every time you read this file, first off, in Popland, when you have a very modules aren't imported the same way that they are in Python. This will only happen once. And it doesn't matter because I can get around your concern that you did not voice by doing this. Whoops, not everything. I'll just put everything in my dunder init function, and now for sure it'll only happen when the module is imported. And actually, now I'll have to reference these. Oh, never mind. I don't want to do this. That means I'd have to make a more complicated pattern. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it quick. Okay, we're gonna undo that replace, and we're gonna do it a little bit more complicated. Hub dot top create dot seed dot replace all replace. I'll also need to do it for entry, but entry is actually there. Now all of these are put on the hub. And actually, they are put on the hub at the same place as this one. Because when you declare a variable at the global level of a project, it actually ends up being, this is put on the hub. I can prove it to you. Install pop tree, pop tree, pop create. Now pop tree, as you'll know if you've watched some other recent videos, this gives me kind of a view of what the hub is. My conf.py is broken. Remember when I broke conf.py? Pepperidge Farms, remember? Where are we breaking at? Scripts? This is breaking? Why are we doing this? Yeah, there's some issues here. I see what the problem is. We're breaking some pop rules here, and I'm gonna fix it. First off, right here, hub.opt is an immutable dictionary, and so we're putting it onto another place, hub.ops, and we should just be reading things from hub.opt. And second of all, hub.opt.popcreate, this isn't even populated at this point because we need to run config.load. So I'm not even sure what this does. It doesn't do anything as far as I understand. Second, we're going to do something different, remember, because we're going to create different subcommands. So seed new might not be our entry point. So let's call init.cli hub pop create init CLI and put our entry point over here. Hey, that makes sense. So look, here's the config loading happening, but that shouldn't happen in init. Oh, Tyler is cringing right now. Okay, so hub.opt, this was doing something because when this dunder init was called, because the dunder inits are called for every module, kind of at the same time. You should not do a config load in the dunder init because that means if someone wants to extend your project, it means that just by having pop create installed into the same environment, you're calling config.load. So in the dunder init, you don't want to put code that does things, which I just did a bunch of file opens in a dunder init, but it's better than at the global level. And we'll probably find a even better place for it. We want this to happen in the CLI. And then from the CLI, we want to determine which subcommand we're using, and then do that. So this is good. I'm glad that we're making. See you later, script automate. Thank you for participating. Okay. And right here, we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna start using some good popisms. init.cli. Boom. And now when I do this, it won't break. Hopefully, it does break. Hub.pop.config.load pop create. Ah, this is what's breaking. I have a set here instead of a dictionary. Nice. So now when I want to grasp, and now I'm actually going to use pop tree real quick, and I can see that under pop create, oh, so pop tree shows me what actually got put on the hub. And I can see now that my init function got put on the hub. But that's it. My init CLI is the only thing on the hub. So actually, there is a need for a dunder init in here. But the only thing I should be using the dunder init for is saying which, the dunder init is kind of where you define your dependencies in the pop way. Here's where I'm going to say hub.pop. I forgot how to do this. I'm just having a brain fart. Let me see real quick how it's done in Idem. Idem, it. Hub.pop.sub.load subders. That's what I want. Hub.pop create recurse equals true. Nice. Thank you, Idem, for that help. Catch it. Okay, now when I do this pop create, it picked up pop seed, which has a ton of functions. Or it picked up seed. So here we have pop create seed init ref, and here you can see all of the functions in that seed file made it onto the hub. All of my template files did not make it onto the hub. Right? Yeah, these are functions. Yeah. Where's that? I wanted to show where the variables made it onto the hub. Oh, attributes. So see entry. Entry made it onto the hub. Under pop hub.popcreate.seed.init.entry. Entry was defined right here on the global level, but you can see here pop tree shows that it was put on the hub. So that's nice. And I guess the rest of these weren't put on the same namespace. They were to put them on the same namespace, that would have to be right here under init. Let me run pop tree again. Go all the way to the top up to our attributes. How come they're not on here? Pop tree. Pop create. Seed init. Attribute. They should be making it onto the hub. I'm confused about that, but we won't worry about it right now. Cool. You know, I've always been bothered that pop seed didn't allow you to specify a directory. And also, options that aren't specific to config should go in here. Okay. Yeah, it's a failing of pop seed or pop create that you can only run the tool from the current working directory and that you can't specify a directory that you want to start your project in. So directory equals no, we're not going to worry about vertical right now. Whew. You're on one. Okay, so now we don't need to do this because that's part of opt. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is our pop create script. Let's do an rm-rf right here again. Pop create. It doesn't do anything. It says invalid subparser. Choose from seed. Okay, so pop create seed. Unrecognized arguments -tv. That's right, we took that one out. And it doesn't do anything. Wait, why did it do things? Oh, it's fun. Probably because the scripts in the run.py are different. I don't like this. This is also a Python-ism that to bring in. And also, we've written this twice now. And I had to say import pop create.scripts. Say no. Can do that. Yeah, this is what I'd prefer the run.py to look like. And so I'm going to make sure new projects are seeded like this, because we should have an if name equals main. Personally, I think it's sloppy to have a run.py and then just have something at the module level rather than a name equals main. It's more tonic, in my opinion. So I'm gonna also modify pop create to create new prop projects with this style rather than this. Okay. We've changed some things now. So the setup.py down here, pop create is pointing to pop create scripts pop create. We now need to point it to start. And because we've modified something in setup.py, we're gonna have to reinstall. Oh, whoops. I did want in editable mode. I've changed so many things here. What the? Where'd these come from? Oh, that must have happened from my replace. These fit the pattern I had earlier. Oops. That's funny. Where's the hub showing up? I'll look at that. I don't need to look at that right now. Run.py. Start. Cool. Scripts. Hey, where's setup.py having its issue? Actually, first let's see Python run.py. Wait, hold on. Python, but no, wait. Let's just run pop. No, wait. Pop create run.py. Okay. So that's able to happen. Where am I breaking? This. I want that file there. I don't know what that is. Also delete our previous egg. Oh, did it also happen in here? Yeah, that replace, I targeted it. Oh, and that's why it created a file named 0.1. This is fun. This is some fun debugging. There we go. Now I can say pop create help. I now have a directory option. I have version information, seed, project name. Project name goes after seed. Pop create seed help. Ooh. This is the project name. The following arguments are required. Okay, so I'm going to close the setup.py. We fixed this. Fixed version.py. I'm going to actually look at version.py. We're going to bump this up to version 1. Run.py, that looks good. In fact, it looks so good that I want to put it in here. Refactor. Name run.py dot template. And let's call this one yes, I like this. We're going good places here. Any comments? Am I missing any comments on any of the channels where people are watching? Cool. We have a whole bunch of template files. This is awesome. Okay, but we've broken pop create, and now we need to fix it in order to extend it to do the things we want to do to be able to bootstrap item clouds, which is our ultimate goal. Let's not forget that. We'll also get some tests in here so this is stable enough to have as a version 1. Okay, so now we're back at the CLI. So if I go print hub.subparser, this will tell me what was used as my subparser. So let's just look at. Wait, why did I do a W plus back there? That doesn't make any sense. Wait, why is it W? I want to read these files. Why am I trying to write them? I'm opening it in write mode and then doing a read operation. Makes sense. Okay, so you remember I came out here and I printed my subparser. Which right now the only one I have is seed. So I'm just making, right here I'm just verifying that the subparser got put onto the right place. Let's also print hub.opt to see what's in there. This is what got put into opt. My project name is Taco. I don't know what it thinks this is. And yeah, that looks good. So let's open our conf.py. I think project name being positional is screwing things up. Let's not have it be positional anymore. Okay. There we go. And now when I run this, it'll freak out because it says, what is taco? Ooh. Oh, yeah. Now we've had to specify name taco. I like that a lot better. All right. We've got this. So now we've loaded everything. We've loaded all subdirs. If someone wants to app merge something that doesn't just do a pop project seed, but they want to do an item project seed or an item cloud project seed, then they just need to create a new directory in their own project under pop create. So we have this. This is easy. We've got the boilerplate here. So now let's look at hub.pop_create hub.subparser.init.run. So what this is saying is we want to have a plugin in this location, and we're going to call the init file .run. .new is what it was called before. .new. Yeah, and that takes us back here. Here we are back in this file. Oh, I wonder if these actually got put onto the hub. That pop tree command. Remember that thing that wasn't making sense to me? Maybe it makes sense now. Did you check? No, it doesn't. So just ignore me. Hmm. Okay. Two. I think something else we can do at the init level is we can actually say hub dot opt dot pop create dot, what do we call it? Directory. Not OS dot. Actually, I don't even need this. There. Make sure our output directory exists before we go into the subparser. That way, if you want to run pop create, you want to say directory or dash d foo, then it will do it. Yeah, like right now, it created a directory called foo because of this line of code that I have. But it crashed because of that funky thing that was going on with hub.ops, and now we're actually going to go through and edit the pop seed code to do all that. I hope everyone's having fun. No one's really commented in here except for Script Automate, so let me know if you're having fun. If you're like, Tyler, I'm not enjoying this, then I want you to know. Let's just go through this one line at a time. We're gonna have to do this every time hub.ops is used. So let's make a regular expression. We don't necessarily need a regular expression. We can probably just do it raw pattern match. Hub.ops. Oh, we're gonna need a regular expression. Hub.ops dash a regular expression catches a bracket, and so I'm putting these backslashes in there to say, no, I mean this left bracket literally. In case you were wondering. Then dash W plus means a word. It also catches underscores. There. And I just want to turn all of these weird opt calls into what they should be. Hub.opt.opt create dot the first matching group, which is, in this case, look, this shows an example of what we're changing. Hub.ops then dine will now be hub.opt.popcreate.dine. So this is just using new popisms. Oh, we got rid of the type. Oops. I will keep that dash T. I don't know. Let's go back and put that type back in, because and we'll only attach it to seed. Sorry, just thinking a moment. My breath. What am I doing? Local history, show history, back to the very beginning. Give me type back. Why we have it back? Now I have this up. I don't think we'll need that option in the future. It's very hard to read again. Let's zoom in. Okay, so this will work the way it used to. This will work. These will work. All these functions will now be called. What is hub.path? Been used a lot of places. Where is it first created? What is this? What is hub.path? Is there something in pop that I don't know about? Okay. Where is this hub.path being created? So I'm going to do not a regular expression search. Hub.path equal. Where is this getting created? What is this? Was it getting created after this? It's happening somewhere in init.new. Where is hub.path getting set? What the crap is it? What is this? Get the name. Oh. Well, we can't worry about that right now because it's trying to call hub.popcreate.seed.maker, and we've moved this to hub.popcreate.seed.init.maker. It means time for another search and replace. Just this file. So hub.popcreate.seed. We don't want these ones because they're already in the right place, but these ones aren't. Common thing is if it has the capture group, expression -w plus left parenthesis. If you have a left parenthesis right after, and now we've all the things. Now we can replace this with hub.popcreate.seed.init. I guess I didn't need a capture group around this. init dot my first capture group and a left parenthesis. Let's just replace all and see if it does it. YOLO. Huh. Seems to have worked. Did some nice searches and replaces too. Except I spelled create wrong. Another search and replace. Create. Turn that into create. Replace all. Easy fix. Hub has no attribute path. That's what I thought. Where was it coming from? Okay. Another problem we're gonna have to look at is sometimes when you create a project, someone else clones it and it won't run because Git won't track a directory that doesn't have anything. So I think I'm going to have to also make some modifications here. Let's get pop create working beautifully with all popism. I'm thinking about this too, like when you do an item create, it's probably going to call pop seed. With specific options. Which means we can't trust everything in hub.opt. I have to pass it explicitly. Let's cross that bridge. For now, let's just get things working as they were, but with version 1.0 type of pop paradigms. What is this mixture doing? Understand the purpose. All of those. Hold on. We're going to use pathlib instead of os.path. Especially when we're doing a lot of path stuff. A lot more intuitive. And we're on Python 3.6, so we might as well. Okay. First, I think we are going to take in the name string we already have to call it somewhere else. We will expect name to come from that. Yeah, because right here we're doing a whole bunch of os.joins and os.isders and os.makeDirs. And we can actually turn it into a one-liner. os.makeDirs path exist okay equals true. I think we can get rid of not needing this entire function. Pathlib do the same thing, but like this. We would say a directory slash name slash time slash contracts dot exist. There. So now we're not creating this directory and then creating this directory and doing a bunch of try excepts and doing all over the place. Instead, with pathlib, we can do a join path by using the divide operator. So I can say directory slash name slash dime slash contracts, and this is a pathlib object. So I wrap in parentheses, and on this pathlib object, I say dot makedir, and if it already exists, that's okay. And that kind of gets rid of the need for this entire function. If this happens, then we also need to this looks like it needs to just happen. Project type equals V. Then this one now. We've done this one. Oh wait, this else. Name, contract. Okay. functions all look exactly the same. Functions look the same. We usually just automate. And probably simplify all of these. Probably simplify this whole function, whole file, so it's down to a couple lines rather than a couple hundred. Okay. Let's do some of this. Let's just make a write file function. Name, contents, and there. I think this is what I would want out of a write function. I'd want to say, give me the directory, give me the path. You know what? We're just gonna, I don't even like that. Let's say path. Give me the full path to the file. Give me the contents. If it's going to be hidden, then we'll add it to a dot because we don't want to put any dot files up here. That gets annoying trying to edit stuff. Right here, we'll specify if it's hidden. Right here, we'll say what the dictionary of things we want to replace with. Like we want to replace this with name. We can have a, it looks like it's happening the same way everywhere. So not just do that. Yeah. Instead of having a ton of functions that all do very, very similar things, we can have one function that's configurable that does all of those things. I can say we're even gonna go just for fun. Should I do something just for fun? Can I make this whole write function async? Nah, this doesn't take very long. That'd be overkill. And we wouldn't get that much of a performance out of it. Okay. Contents will be a giant string. Now we've typed into everything. Okay. We can also add some logging. There hasn't really been any logging. Okay. Right. Also, this giant blob is hard to put all of this into a file. Yeah, I'm not a fan of having whole bunch of print statements. This is a lot easier to format and edit. Yeah, if you want to put something from this line up on this line, then you don't have to put a bunch of things. Okay. What does write function do is it should say with, hold on, check this out. OS, no. Path dot parent dot mokdir. I can make sure that the parent directory exists before I even start. That's nice. I'll have to save a lot of time. And I can say path dot bytes text. Oh, that exists. Are performing our substitutions. Can I change my path? There. Here I'm making sure that the parent directory exists, doing substitutions. If the file is hidden, then I am making sure that it starts with a dot. I am writing the contents, and we're done. Everyone's dropping out now. So I'm gonna keep the stream going, even though we're losing users. This is a very long stream, and when I get into code like this, it does take a long time. There's a lot more to go. I'm just gonna keep going until YouTube or Twitch says, hey, this is too long of a stream. Or if too many people are getting bored. I mean, maybe it's helpful to watch this deep into a project. If you're enjoying, let me know. If there's something that I could do better, please let me know. I hope that the text is visible on my screen and that I'm not too annoying, but I really want to. I'm going to keep chugging along. I'm going to keep streaming. The latest I can go is 1 more hour. And that's a really long stream, but until someone tells me not to, I'm just going to keep going. Finishing out top seed. Let's also. Wait. Ah. I didn't realize this path.rename was in there. Does this return something or does it edit it in place? Returns the new path. Okay, cool. Oh no, but path.rename, I haven't actually created a file yet. Wait, what is with name? Oh, yeah. Nice. That's what I wanted. Um, what does path.stem give me? Does it just drop the last extension minus its last suffix? Okay, so that'll just drop the dot template. And this actually isn't related to just C. This is a generally useful tool for kinds of things. Kind of isolated it almost within. What? Lib. Doesn't need to be there. This needs to be there. Well, boom. Okay, so we have a pretty standardized tool now for writing out template files. You can replace keys. Okay. Whew. So now let's replace all of these functions with that new function that we created. So we're going to say I need to split this. Let's put this right. Have the same file twice. Make setup. Here, let's actually just write the make setup. We're going to say instead hub.pop ph.init.write. And now to write, I need to pass path to the file, which will be directory slash directory slash setup.py. Realizing now that that template thing, I don't need this. .py. Actually, I needed that file open, kind of. Contents hidden and replace dictionary. Okay. Contents equals hub.create.seed.init.setup. And I replace dictionary based on this stuff over here. I'm going to replace name with name. It looks like we have some logic with entry. Okay. Oh, but we're not going to have the entry point here. So, and we're going to replace entry with nothing. Nice. Cool. And now we don't need this function. We can't delete that one quite yet. Why is my computer beeping? Okay. Ah! What just happened? What is going on? Things closing all over the place. Okay. Okay, so we're done here. We're creating contracts. Now we're creating our setup, which we're just going to do with this function. Only we're going to replace entry with hub dot. Oh, wait. Entry is just right there. With entry dot replace. I'm just going to copy this right out of the same. Cool. Ugh. There we go. Mm. I don't like that this is all the way down here. I don't think it needs to. It actually just be right here. Yeah, this could have been a one-liner. I think in setup.py it ends up being a one-liner. If you look at it right here. Oh, this one didn't. But still, that's something that a pre-commit can handle if it ends up being really long. So, that looks good. So we've accomplished the need of this make setup. Remove that. these one up. Okay. Okay, init, make script. All right, let's look at make script over here. Other pretty simple ones. We're just going to say hub.pop create init.write. Directory slash, where this one? Oh, this is just the root of whatever the directory is. Environments.text. You know what else I wish was inside of pop create that I'm going to add right now? Over here. If hub.opt.pop create.directory Is there a way to test if a directory is empty? Error would be nice. Sure, a file exists error. Sure, file exists error. There's so many times when I've run pop seed in a directory like my PyCharm directory, and I would really like to just say, hey, if something's there, then don't. Anywhere in the subtree. Yeah, an rglob will work. So let's actually test this out real quick, because I know everything isn't working right now with pop seed, but this should. So in my current directory, I have stuff. If I run this, yes, target directory is not empty. It is not. The foo. But foo, what does foo have in there? Hold on. Oh, okay. Oh, it's empty. Oh, it's because I'm returning a generator here. I just cast a generator to a list and have it. Means that I can. I didn't know I could do that. Check this out. Python list range 6. Huh. You can cast a generator to a list and it'll expand it. That's really nice. Yes, so it's working. Yeah, so we've added some functionality now to say don't run pop seed in a directory that has stuff in it. Oh, that would save me so much time in being like, yeah, and writing over files that I didn't want to write over. So I'm enjoying this. This is good. We're adding good functionality to pop tree. All right. Do some more stuff. Let's finish all these functions, replacing them with the new way of doing things. Then we'll have a pop create that works as it does, but with more pluggable format and with more popisms. And then we'll be able to extend it to do an item create. And I don't think we'll get to the auto gen stuff today, but we'll get there tomorrow, and maybe I'll showcase it on Friday. Okay, so here, this directory contents equals dot pop create dot c dot rec placements. No replacements. Just raw that. I also want to have a pattern of creating a test directory. But then again, maybe this is something I save for a different subcommand. Creating a boilerplate code for tests would be really handy. And creating some of the... I need to write this down. This is a thought that needs to be written down for me. So we're going to have pop create seed, pop create item, pop create. Yeah, and I think just having even having all the empty file structure in place for your tests, it's something that I do a lot. Sorry, I lost my thought right there. No. I feel like with that, we need a flag in here to say you can ignore things. If you want to ignore the warning of it being an empty directory, then you can. Like something like an overwrite or ignore, what's the opposite of empty? Full, but not necessarily full, but just has stuff in there. Ignore dirty. I know in Git when you have a file that's not committed, it's called dirty, but I don't want to say ignore dirty. That ignore warnings. Ignore empty warning. Very explicit. Subcommands. Google. Options. Dash I. Currently. I'm going to put it in the config. Ignore empty. Default false. Action or true. Help. Now over here, I can say if hub.ops.create.ignore empty warning. So if not ignore warning and there's stuff in there, raise the error. So there, now we've provided a path to ignore all of my warnings that will save you from hurting yourself. Causing you. Test that works real quick. No, target directory is not empty. Dash I. There we go. It is working. All right. Going with all of the seed stuff. Make script. Say hub.pop create.init.write directory slash scripts.py contents equals hub.popcreate.c.script replace equals name with name. Nice. That. This. This. Gonna make run.py. Run.py, place his name, and that's it. Actually, let me look at run.py. The run.py template. You might need that one to be name. If there's any dashes in there, we don't want it. Muddle things up. Oh, whoops. I don't know about script. Script, a clean name in there. rid of these. Okay, script needs, yeah, it's gonna need underscore name. Or name. The script will also need clean name. How do I put it into a variable now? Put it outside now. I want to use that everywhere. This name's okay. Or replace it there. That's okay. Just keep rolling along with this. Okay, so we've done requirements. Let's do create the initial init.py. Yep. And this one's path is directory slash name slash name slash init.py. Init. And what is in that init.py template? Definitely the clean name. Okay. We've replaced the need this one. Up create seed init make version. I don't want to forget that I want to create tests. Another one of the core functionalities here. I'm having fun. I hope this is fun for everyone watching. Make version. Like this one. This one will go in hub path. We'll go right here. Version pi. Version, and it has no replacements. Cool. That function readme. I don't know why I just copied all that. Different root. Like we're using REST now as default for that. Isn't there a default readme? Oh, fun. The contents are dynamic. Cool. And the README does replace the name. Cool. Don't need this anymore. Make conf. Kind of want. I don't like this tabbing right here. That's kind of confusing when you're ending else statement. I kind of want that else statement. Do all this right here. Okay. I don't think I need. Okay. Let's make a comp. Big file. Hmm. And this happens in name slash conf.py. The contents are equivalent to yeah. Then I come down here and I say and a really crazy one-liner. I started as a Perl developer, so insane one-liners are my specialty, and I try not to do them very often, but sometimes it's just way too fun. I apologize. Because the goal in Perl is to cram as many things as possible onto a single line. It really helps your job security because no one can read your stuff but you. But then again, it hurts you because you can't even read your stuff. But sometimes it's really, really fun. It feels good to make a really, really complex one-liner. Wait, didn't we already make our requirements down here? Not sure why I got created up there. Yeah. We're almost done. I'm gonna close the door. Let's finish this. Let's finish this and make sure it works. And then off screen, I'll make it work for tests and for other things. The Pi project.toml doesn't need anything special. Cool, that one's done. Pre-commit. Yeah, the pre-commit file is also I don't need that hidden flag thing. And just pass a path in here. Okay. Yeah, ignore. We can do the same. They're getting pretty repetitive. We're almost done. Almost done. And none of those had any replacements. Oh. All that function is doing is all right. We've done it. We've done it all. Uh, I'll do the same thing for tests. But yeah, pop create the raw testing directories. That'll be nice. Are you aware that you're only streaming in 480p? That is quite blurry. I am not aware that I'm only streaming in 480p. That is very blurry. I thought it was just my computer, to be honest. Holy smokes, that's bad. Whoa. That explains a lot. Settings, output. Oh, there's my problem. I'm really sorry. I really appreciate that feedback, and I have no idea why it is scaling it down so bad. I will fix that for Friday's stream, and I'm really sorry that today it's been blurry for so long. That's really annoying to look at. And I can't fix it during the stream. I have to wait till after. And since we're really near the end anyway, we'll just end with it is blurry, and I apologize. I'm really sorry for that. But next time I'll fix that right after the stream, so that next time it's not like that. Thanks for pointing that out for me. Okay, let's make sure that this is working. Oh wow, if I misspelled that, then I could have deleted root. That wouldn't be good. Playing with dangerous commands is fun. I didn't run this though. Okay, let's run pop create seed -n taco. Let's just see where that takes us. No file or directory get ignore.template. Get ignore.template. Oh, that's why. Ow. Here. Be nice to not have glasses anymore. There is a bad name for this variable. Oh, I know. Yeah. Much better name. But it's not the present working directory. That can be confusing. It's the present directory, not the working directory. Cool. Requirements.text.template. There isn't one in here called that? Huh. Oh, target directory is not empty. Is it creating a log file? It's creating a log file before it gets to the point in the script where it's checking for the directory to be empty. That's annoying. Okay, so let's run it with a -I real quick. New, missing 3 required positional arguments: name, directory, and project type. All right, I need to pass those in from this init script. Name, directory, project type. We'll pass it pub.opt.name directory pub.opt.type. I like being explicit about what argument into a thing. Nice, now we're actually running the thing. Right, got multiple arguments for contents. Upcreate, right, upcreate init. 7, line 47 is right. The first argument is path. This is our path. Our second argument is the directory. Wait, directory. Path, contents, replace. Path, contents, replace. So on line, it was having an issue on line 47. Here, path, contents, we're not passing it a replace. Now the directory that we're getting is actually already a path lib. Thing. Let's see. Multiple values for contents on line 46. Path is the first one, then contents. I just don't see what's wrong here. If maybe it should just be all the way consistent. Path like that. Multiple values or argument. And now it's having an issue. I don't understand. Pop create init right. Pop create init dot right. It's confusing. What is going on? Oh, I don't have pub as the first argument to write. In line 27 on line 52. An issue on this one. And its issue is that the directory exists. Yeah, it exists. Oh, exist okay equals false. I want exist okay. Why did I type false again? Wow, my muscle memory wanted me to type false. Ah. This is having an issue on line 85. We've made it all the way down to here. What are the arguments for this? I think parents is unlike Batman's function do. Invalid format specifier. We're getting even further along. Look at all this debugging. I just churned all this out, and now it's like, by the way, doesn't like this. Doesn't like this either. I'm sorry. Hasn't been loading. Yeah. Oh, hey, you're not Dave. How long have you been in here? I've been writing all of the nice things about. Nice. Top create. Changing a lot. I don't think I can use Python 3 format strings. Not with this. So now I know why it was done the previous way. There. Speed has no attribute run. Can I not put run up here? Or run.py.template. Yep. Wait, I just added run. It's the end of the day. Oh, I didn't rename it. And print post. Oh, I just wanted to just this. Done. Let's look at this. Let's see what project we've created. So we have a log file in here. We have a readme.rest. At that readme.rest has taco in it. Nice. At requirements.txt, top 16. Ooh, that should have a new line at the end of it. There. Since Utah Dave's in here, let's talk over all of the changes that we've made here. Run.py. We now said from taco.scripts import start, and now if name equals main, call start. Utah Dave is the one that initially created pop create, and I'm really grateful that you separated this from pop. That was a lot of work and really awesome. So now we're going to, and now we've made it so that we can easily extend it, so that we can do pop create seed, and all of these files, instead of being strings inside of this file, we can now see them with their formatting, so it can make them a little bit easier to edit and maintain. that's why I split everything off into these template files. And I want to be able to seed tests for a project and also seed item cloud. And so the command line structure is going to change a little bit for everything here. Changed everything so that we can plug in different seeds. Working now. Nice. Welcome back to the video. All right, let's look at what other things were in here. At setup.py. Everything in here seems to be working fine. Taco.scripts.start. Cool. Cat taco/conf.py. Dines got created properly. Taco version.py. It looks like everything is working fine, except for some of these files. I just need to run pre-commit. Oh. Neat. Boom. Yeah, running pre-commit on these files is all of them. Yeah. I thought at one point you did separate everything into different files. The problem would be if you tried to call something conf.py or init.py, then pop would have picked it up and it would have caused errors all over the place. That's why I had to call them .template just so that pop would ignore them. And it looks like it's working. So let's go over the new structure for this thing. Oh shit. Oh, I just accidentally deleted everything in this directory, not in Taco. That's bad. When you play with fire, you get burned. Can I copy all of this? Can I create it again? Please no. Not just blow away everything. Okay. I'm sorry for swearing on stream. I thought I was in my taco folder, and then I just did an rm-rf, like completely blew away everything in here. Oh my goodness, that was... Somehow it didn't work. Wow, what a ride. Oh, and it only would have deleted the hidden files, not all the files. I thought that I almost blew away everything. That would be a nightmare. Wow, what a rush to get my attention running. I probably did blow away the .get ignore though. Yeah, so I actually did blow stuff away. Whoa, that was scary. Wow, let's never run that command again. I don't believe it. Okay. Ooh. Haven't committed anything. Oh. Wow. That was almost catastrophic. I'd have to rewrite everything we've done for the past 3 hours. That would have been... And I even deleted the .idea folder. Like, I actually deleted the .idea folder, so PyCharm wouldn't even be able to cover it. Okay. We're in this empty directory, so now we're gonna run pop create seed -n taco I -tv -d exec states tool. Why is -tv an unrecognized argument? We're gonna come over here and say, oh, that's because type doesn't have a subcommand. Subcommands global. We'll fix that. A professor in college said, "You're only as smart as the amount of data you've lost because you didn't back up." Yeah, my heart's still racing after believing that I blew away everything. That would have been really bad. All right, let's go line 45. Same thing here. Parents equals true. Done. Looks like it worked. We were able to create taco conf.py, exec contracts, states contracts, tool contracts, vim taco conf.py. Like that, it put all of those way over there. And change this 8 to a 4. I am in the taco folder. Verbally confirming that myself before running this. Running this again, vim taco conf.py. My automatically generated file looks a lot better now. Looks like I'm not getting a taco folder created here, and I want a taco folder created. There, now I have a taco folder. Oh, I know. No, wait, this one's working fine. This is doing what it should be doing. What's happening wrong is when I'm creating the directory. Something like what's happening over. Net.py setup scripts run. Where's my for loop? Oh, this is where I'm creating. There we go. Now I have another taco folder. Tacos all the way down. And if I run ls-a, my hidden files were created as well. Let me just copy those real quick. No reason. To // create. Yeah, I don't know why. I just think those hidden files would be really great in the pop create folder. Almost like they were accidentally deleted or something. All right. So I think pop create is back on par with where it was at the beginning of the stream. It does exactly the same thing it does, only we've restructured a few things. We've put everything under pop create that originally was under a seed.py. We split that out into this entire seed directory. We now have a common mechanism for writing files and doing replacements on those files that can be used across other plugins, like when we automatically generate tests. And I think that's it. And that's where we can end for the day. And off screen, off camera, I'm going to make it so that tests can be automatically generated too. I'm going to fix that problem with creating a log file and then throwing a complaint that the directory isn't empty. And I'm going to create the boilerplate code for extending pop create with item to initialize an item project and an item cloud project specifically. And then we will look at also extending an item create to look at a spec file for an API and automatically create execution modules based on a spec file. And just for fun, just as kind of a preview of what's coming for that. I don't know if I have it. Never mind. I was going to look at a spec file, but we can't. I don't have one open in one of the tabs. Maybe I do. Look at VMware API reference. Yeah, this is what I want. So I want to take a JSON blob of this data and just create a whole bunch of execution modules based on this. So like I could say, okay, I'm creating an item sys project because this project seems to be called sys. And so I would have hub.exec.sys.session.delete.get.create. And I have these functions. I have a scriptable way of getting the parameters for these functions. Instead of manually going in and creating an item project for this entire cloud or for this entire resource, I could just take a spec file or even this REST API index and scrape this REST API and automatically create execution modules. So once I can do that I'm going to do it for VMware stuff first because it's in-house, I have a lot more people to ask questions from if I'm not understanding how the API works. I also have access to resources for creating stuff in VMware Cloud. I work at VMware. And then I'll go over for the major clouds. Like we'll ping the AWS API. We can do an auto spec of Bodo Core and automatically create all the execution modules with documentation. We can do that for AWS, GCP, Alibaba, and all of the other major clouds. And that's my goal by June, by the end of the next quarter, is to pump out execution modules. And so then all we have to do, I do know that I'm streaming at 480p. Yeah. And it's a problem that I can't fix until I end the stream. And we're at the end of the stream, so I'm going to fix it before next time. But thank you for pointing it out. Yeah, so the final goal, and we don't need to be looking. And now the 480p won't make as big of a difference if we just look at me. The ultimate goal would be execution modules for every cloud using pop create. And so that's why we're looking at pop create today. And I also want to write some tests for pop create so that it can be really stable as a... Right now it's at a version 0.1. And I think that tests are really what it takes to put something in a version 1, and I can do that real quick. Off screen. So thank you everyone for joining. Any questions, comments, arguments, rebuttals about what's going on? On Friday, we'll look at some auto spec stuff and magically creating execution modules for a cloud. And the goal here would be that, and we kind of talked about it in one of the earlier meetings today. The goal would be I can create execution modules for AWS to have an item AWS. And then we just need humans to go through and write state modules and authentication modules, and that's it. Pop create is it is a pop project. It will create the boilerplate code for a pop project. And I'm extending pop create so that it will create the boilerplate code for an item project, and so that it will create the infrastructure for writing tests in a pop project. So that is what pop create is. Yeah, and then the goal is, yeah, we'll be able to have all of the code that we need in place, all the infrastructure in place, to just start writing state modules for every single cloud, and have something that we can use instead of Terraform all over cloud automation. So that's my goals. A little lofty, and shout out to Utah Dave. Thank you so much for the work that you did in Pop Create. To Tom for writing Pop and the first iteration of Pop Seed, and to Derek for all of his work in what we're going to be doing on Friday. I'd love to see Pop Create pump out Sphinx docs automatically too. I keep trying to wrap up, and then we keep having really good comments. So I'm going to, here, we'll look at PyCharm again. I'll create over here. Just so that we remember to do it. We can have pop create. Yeah, we'll have a plugin for creating the Sphinx stuff. I think that's a really good idea. And this way we can have pop create not just do one type of project. We can have pop create be extended to, you can use pop create for item, for creating tests, for creating Sphinx, for all kinds of boilerplate code. It's going to be amazing. It already was amazing, and it's going to be even more. All right. And docs, that's something, Dave, you should talk with me and Derek sometime about, because Derek's got some lofty ideas for docs. We already have, and I keep pulling out of my full screen and then going right back into it. But we already have Pop Tree, if you haven't looked at that. And Pop Tree will show you everything that is on the hub. And if you Pop Tree graph details, you can see all of the doc strings on the hub. So I am working on it with Derek, a way of turning this into a tool that can, like with Salt, you're able to say Salt help and then get the help for a specific execution module. So we want to be able to do that using Pop Tree and some other things we have in place. To be able to, on the command line, say pop, maybe pop docs, exec.aws ec2 instance.create, and be able to do this to see what the arguments are and see an example of how to call from code and from within the command line. Yeah, I'm glad you think it'll be amazing because that's what I'm working on with Derek. It's gonna be lots of fun. And this is another one of my goals to make this week. So got a grimace in there. What's your grimace for, Hemabund? But still, it's 5. It's been a 3-hour-long stream. I'm sorry that it was in 480p. I'll fix that right as soon as we end, and it'll be better next time. What was that command line for? Oh, that command line. That was just that was an example of what a command might look like for pop docs. It's not something that exists. It's something that I'm going to write. And I was showing pop tree, which is something that exists. You can run pop tree right now. And actually, you know what? Let's just do one more thing. We can do one. A really cool thing you can do with pop tree. I just did a pop tree graph details. Generating the Sphinx docs is a whole nother beast. I'm not doing that with any command line tool right yet. But it's something that Derek is working on. The pop tree will just show you what's on the hub. And actually, I can say pop tree graph network X, and I can have a visual representation of the hub. This is everything on the hub. That's on the hub by default without me adding any subs. So hub.log.async.log, hub.output pretty item display, hub pop config load, hub pop dine. And I have here just for fun network X. I gave it a ton of contracts just to show the pattern of how contracts are called. So you have your network X pre is run first, the function specific pre, and then the general pre, then your calls, and then all of these calls end with a post, and the function specific post is last. Very complex. But I can run it for a project. I can run it for a specific project. Like I can say pop tree, show me exec modules, add sub item, make sure that this will show me all exec modules that are part of my personal item cloud environment. So this is going to be a bit messy because it's a lot. And I'm using contracts heavily in it. So yeah, here's the hub over here this time. And it's only showing things that are under exec. So hub.exec.csp org user search, hub exec csp org user list, org role list. And this shows you all of the commands that are available under hub.exec. And it is a lot. Hub exec vmc.sddc.cluster.list. It all get put through these call and post contracts. Yeah, I did this a while ago, but it's been really useful for debugging stuff. And I think if you got rid of contracts from this, a lot cleaner, but also helpful to see contracts. Cool. Any other questions? Anything else you want to see? If you're writing pop code, then I highly recommend checking out pop tree. All you have to do to get it is pip install pop tree. By default, pop tree doesn't install all of the network X stuff. So you would actually have to say pip install pop tree full. And if you're on Z shell, then you have to escape your square brackets. And because network X, it installs matplotlib and pandas and all of that for doing the data visualization. So I think that's a good place to end on. Check out pop tree. Everyone is awesome, and thank you for participating today. I will see you next time.